G'day, Bradley Grennan here. You can call me Lord and Lil or Aussie Gunja Farmer. So I want to talk to you about how this all works in this reality. You're in a reality. Rightio. So it's a made-up reality. It's computer-based. So think of us, my mentor within, right, is Lord and Lil. I have a mentor within myself that I awakened. Or he awakened me. Bit of both. And he is millions of years old. I'm not that old, but I got a few years on me. In this form here, you can probably see I'm in my 50s. But I'm talking about when I'm in my human form and I'm part of all reality, a different reality. Right, yeah? So, well, I'm part of the fourth dimension. Here you're in third dimension reality. So it's more or less, it's not, but it's a parallel universe reality. Okay? So you're in a computer program, but it's like a virtual reality where you think everything's real. So you got 5 senses. You feel that, you see, smell, touch. So it's more advanced. We're talking about beings that are millions of years old. All right? That's created a reality that you fitted into and you were a part of, and you're making mistakes within to learn and grow and expand who you are. So so some of the things you're doing right now is you're learning more about who and what you are by we're giving you advanced technology like virtual reality, right? So you've got people sitting on a computer in a program creating a different process for themselves. So they might be a woman in that computer program where they're a male playing on a computer, right? So swing that around, make it more advanced, millions of years old, and you are put in that reality to learn and grow and expand. People are put with you that are here to rehab. They're called the Fallen Angels. They were part of a war in all possibility, what you call heaven. And they were gathered up, and we didn't want them to be destroyed because we knew some of them very well. So we put them in this reality to learn and grow and expand and rehab with a group of beings that we're developing that we call teenagers, and they're growing and expanding over a couple of thousand years. More than a couple, but a few thousand years. And you were developed and grown to what you are now. So there was things that you went through evolution like fire. Maybe not. Right? Where you could protect yourself more now. You had fire, and you could you lived longer because you could take that raw food and you could cook it now, and that would destroy some of the bacteria that made you sick or that killed you or whatever. You could take a stick out of the fire and swing it around, and you had protection. You could carry those coals with you now in a little bag and light a fire. elsewhere. You all lived, you all grew and expanded into a group of beings that all work together as one. Not necessarily, but so you grew. You're a bit like a bait ball, all doing the same thing. Maybe you won't get picked off. Anyway, so you're part of a program where you only live for so long, and you have families, but whether they are really part of who you are and your family is something else. So there's going to be no legacy. It's a training program. Oh, what a lot of crap. Who's this guy? Sit down and have a think. Think about what I'm telling you. So there's no legacy. It's a training program. Take it back to heaven. Once it's all over, ascension's finished. No history anymore. Only the history that we use, that we look at and look at bettering everything next time, and look at you and see how you've performed, and no legacy. You're creating no legacy. Oh, that's not fair. Stop being a teenager. Think about it. You may not get to see that information. People will be though. If you play up in all possibility, we'll drag you in and say, here, look at this. Do you want it to be like this? Do you want to live like this? In hardships? So it's going to be a training program. This isn't our first rodeo. There's been these before you. You've even seen stuff under the water that of past events. But this time it's going to be totally cleared up. We're going to ascension and the planet's going to melt. So don't hide down any holes. Don't be debating us and telling us what to do, and then running off scared and going down your holes or doing whatever you want to do. We're going to fill them with boiling water and molten rock. We know everything. We know every dirty little hole or dirty little dark area that you can hide in on this planet, in this reality. We created it. So it's our magic. We hop on the computer and change consciousness or whatever needs to happen. It's a computer program, so it's evolving all the time under our scrutiny and understanding. And we type in what we need. So we control it all. We control you, who, if you were a fallen angel, we can control what you say, what you think, how you feel, everything. We don't want to do that. You have had up to up to 2012, you have had free will, where pretty well you kind of had your own way and did what you wanted to do. Now that consciousness' freedom has changed, and you aren't allowed to get away with what you got away with to a certain degree. So that's changing. And you're being removed and controlled and said, you know, you either do this or this is what's going to happen to you. So we can get on the computer program and change it any time, do whatever we want to you. We've got programming of Mother Nature doing whatever she wants to a certain degree. She hops in and talks to us and discusses how it should be, and we type it in and all sorts of stuff. You got divine hierarchy here being in this reality with you. There's more than one reality. Right? Than others on other planets in this reality, but this planet is it's not being totally destroyed, but it's being purified. It's going to melt. Oh, what a lovely bonfire! As the flames come over the horizon. It's getting a little bit warm in here. You need to listen. You're not going to all possibility unless you listen. And once that listening's done, we'll have you listening to us and working with us under our understanding. And then you have your own way, and we look at you and decide what we can work with you. Whether you're worthy or not. If you still want to hurt animals and do things and hurt others, and you're not what we want. We will look after all that. That's our job. It's going to be your job too, but when it comes down to the computer, we can reprogram more animals to come in. Right? Your affirmations will be about abundance of animals and plants and all sorts of stuff, and we'll be typing it in, and that will be expanding those, not necessarily hunting and gathering, but that will be expanding the animals on this planet. Because you're going to learn new affirmations to get more of them. They'll be around you everywhere. You may collect them. You may you may enjoy kangaroo meat or kangaroo tail, or you might, there might be other stuff that you, pheasants or wild pheasants or whatever, you'll be able to eat them. Abalone and fish, and so there'll be more of that. And we can change anything we want. If we want surf, we can create surf. You might go to the water and splash the water up and go, I want you to build. I want the waves to build and grow so I can surf them. Throw the water in the air. And that's that affirmation saying you want. So you might see people surfing. Before they surf, they sit down, they pray, or they use affirmations. And they're asking for the best surf for them to ride, to compete in, and to get the right wave at the right time. And this is what they're asking. They're using affirmations to create this. Okay, so there's people knowing about this and doing it. They may not necessarily understand about freedom and connecting to your mentor, but they're already working along with affirmations. So the biggest one was the DVD or the book called The Secret, where very well-known people on the planet who had status used the process or program of affirmation to create what they want and to get further in developing what they're doing. But it's more wealth-based. So in the DVD, they're talking about, getting the money at the right time to pay bills and things like that. And we aren't about that. We're about everything's going to be free soon. So we're talking about very, very soon down the road, everything's starting to change because consciousness is changing, and we're able to create what we want because we're in control of that reality and that consciousness. So 3.5 billion people may pray once a week, right? 5.5 billion. I think I said 3.5 billion. 5.5 billion. Okay? So only one of them have to be right, and what I'm telling you is the truth. Out of 5.5 billion people. Right? So they pray. We aren't necessarily asking you to pray. We're asking you to understand what you're doing and going through every day through affirmation. But theirs is a calculated affirmation where they've come together and they're praying for something, and which is an affirmation on another level, different level. Right? So I'm not asking you to I'm not asking you to go to a religion. I don't want you going to a religion. Religions are finished. I'm asking you to become divine within your own self, spiritually divine. I'm asking you to work in with something on another level. And it's teachings, and we've got that programming, and we're watching and calculating you, whether you're worthy or right to advance. Just because you're worthy and right doesn't mean that you're going to be moved on. You may live out total life and here and, to a ripe old age of 80, 90, 100. And pass away in your sleep. So we do all that programming. No one else has the right to say whether you live or die. It's us who are on the computer program, on the dimension reality, right, who's putting in whether you live or die. So no matter what you're talking about science, no matter any of the science or anything, has no control over it. So you believed it did in free will. But we're here to tell you now what's going on and who we are and how it works. So those sciences are bullshit. But they planned it that way. They were working with affirmation and creating, but they could have told you the truth, right? So you could have been told the truth. You can use affirmation, but someone else is controlling you, but if you do this and that, you can work in with it, right? But they didn't. They manipulated and conned you and controlled everything, and yeah, just lied to you. This looks real, so this will work. And we can pull the wool over their eyes. But really and we had given them free will up to a certain time limit, 2012, to rehab, to be like that, to be like divine spiritual again, and not lie to you. Some people had to go along with it. If you told the secret, you were dead. This was there was all this information, like the Mayan calendars and all this information. If you told the truth, you had your finances taken away. You were made out to be a crazy person, and you lost everything, your family. So you had a really good reason why some people were lying. It was only the strongest that said, no, I'm not going to put up with it. But they weren't allowed on the TV or the radio, or it was held back because that's where it stood. It was all lies. And when you tell lies and more lies and more lies, and you've got to tell more lies about the lies, and it becomes a cesspool. You're in a cesspool. You can't tell the truth anymore because you've told that many lies that you would just look really bad. So we're on that computer programming it. We can put in that we want to give you a house and an acre of land full of fruit trees and food forests, and we can program that, and within a certain amount of time, it's formed, programmed in. We want Mr. Smith to have this, and then tomorrow we introduce Mr. Smith to it. Take Mr. Smith there. This is kind of what you wanted, Mr. Smith, was it? Rah, rah, rah. Here we go. Your own food forest with your own shelter, and we'll be giving you more technology when we feel like you are adapting to what is happening. And, we want to help you more and more, Mr. Smith. Or Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Oh, you need this. Yes, Mr. Jones. Or Mr. Smith, I'll put it in. I hear you, Mr. Smith, in your affirmations, and you're asking for this. Maybe we won't give you this, but we'll give you what you need. See what I mean? Your affirmations are going to a consciousness where it's all computer programming and it has an understanding and it's all connected, all the plants and animals and everything are connected to that. Everyone wants the oceans to be saved and less plastic and less this and that and less animals dying, and we'll do that now. It's in that consciousness. Everyone wants it, and that will be created. We'll put that in the programming. This is my keyboard. Right. You getting it? So you're in a computer program that's part of reality. That's virtually a virtual reality that's kind of with a parallel universe that's called all possibility, heaven, what you call heaven, all possibility, where we live differently. And we've got to get you to that before we get you into it. Ascension into all possibility. So we've got to teach you all about how this reality works. And that's what we're trying to do. You've been held back and lied to and misled, and someone controlled you and misled you so you would work under what their conditions are and what they wanted. And you had to be out of balance to do that. So we want you to share now, care, love. It's not hard. I'm sure if you're the type of person that's caring, you might have a dog, you've cared for it, looked after it, loved it. You have a family, you care for them. This is the same sort of stuff we're talking about. We need you to care and share for everyone. We'll give you abundance and everything. The more you start becoming right, the more we give you and help you and expand who you are, and more power we give you. We open up your brain to what you're possible of. So we're programming, right? And open up your brain, give you more power. We're in control of it. We have a mentor within you that's part of consciousness and part of it, who's with you. They're in another reality, another dimension. But they are one with you, connected to you, helping you. And they're learning as we go along. We're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you. It's been thousands of years of programming. Thousands and thousands of years. You've been like a teenager. Don't be trying to tell the people that are millions and millions and millions of years old what to do. Because your ego. Don't be debating us. We're not here to be debated. If you debate us, we'll just get rid of you because you don't listen. You're not listening. On my keyboard. Not necessarily me, but my mentor. Who's divine hierarchy. who I'm their transport. I'm their vessel. I carry them. They help me and teach me. I make mistakes. I learn from those mistakes. Try to. He wants to be awakened. We will awaken him. But you have to be right. You've got to be saying, I want to be awakened. I want freedom. Come on, give it to me. Okay, he's ready. No. Oh, I don't know about this freedom crap. What a load of crap. I better do it. I want freedom. You know, it's not going to help you. You got to want it. You want to be ultra divine, positive. Come on. I want it. I want freedom. Come on. I want change. I want to grow. Come on. Affirmations. If you half want it, you're not getting it. Ultra positive. When do you start realizing that it's totally different to what you are or were? That what I'm saying to you isn't craziness. It's the truth. You're doing this. 5.5 billion people every week, every night, every day. Right? To who? To what? What is it? Oh, to pray. Yeah. No. More to it. It's called an affirmation. You haven't been told, you've been misled in some cases. Oh, you just pray and, God will be listening. There's more to it. I'm here to help you understand that. Why haven't we been telling you this? It was up to other people. They had free will to rehab and grow. They were told before we left thousands of years ago. They got out of control. There was all sorts of things happen. Then we come back and said, listen, you got to be like this and do this. Rehab. We're giving you a certain amount of time to grow and expand and learn and help. But it wasn't created the way we wanted it created. It wasn't the way we explained it. It went off on its own tangent. It's not our fault. You need to talk to the right people and get upset with them. I don't want you to get upset. I want you to change now and grow and become ultra positive. So we don't want you to get upset. We want you to become ultra positive now and divine, spiritual. Hold no grudges anymore. Just get on with becoming something else now. Don't want anyone hurt. We'll be controlling all that. People may die. A lot of people may die. It's ascension. Just like the Mayan. A whole race disappeared. Some are still left. They knew. They were spiritual. They knew. Some of them. Some were good, some were bad.